I'm gonna tell you this, right? When we're dealing with like really studying history, when something becomes easy to imagine, that's exactly when you can fall victim in your research. You know what I'm saying? And look, I'm gonna say this though. The white man being made 6,000 years ago and the path of destruction that he has laid is unique to our reality, right? So that means that anytime you read something before they were here, what you have to instead is remind yourself the opposite, that you cannot imagine what it was like. You see what I'm saying? Because what happens is that you make like your mind will make a utopia of everything. We used to be able to do this. You know, brothers don't know, at least they cannot name 5 articles of clothing that people wore in ancient times. But they tell us all about how great the life was and everything. Give me 5 articles of clothes that they wore 25,000 years ago, that they wore daily, or the type of things like we could name like for us. So sneakers, jeans, like items that we, you know, was common to find. All I hear is dashiki, so they just wore one item of clothing every single day, every single color known to man, right? Because it was obviously it was a fun utopia, so it was bright and colorful and stuff, right? What I'm saying is that we don't even know the daily life of what it was like 40,000 years ago. You know, like for example, we talk about the different Qurans and different individuals from all these different Qurans and different, you know, all these different, you know, Homo versions, like Homo sapiens, Homo saliens, all these different things. And in the New York Times today, they had an article about a new one that they found in the South African caves that goes back about 40 million years ago. So, like, you know, in those times, we don't even assume that they had anything. We just go, they must have been, you know, just wearing a loincloth, spear chucking, like, you know, nobody bothers to imagine what did they live like. They must have did this, they must have did that. They look at their cranial size and they say, according to this, the cranial size of these were the size of an orange, which is a lot smaller than, like, you know, us. It's an orange. And that their body types were, you know, 5 feet, 100 pounds. They could run, walk long distances, so they were obviously upright walkers, you know? Mind you, it kind of ruins all of the caveman talk that they always talk about later. Like, if you have upright walkers that long ago, how do you have the Neanderthal caveman people later that can't? Like, so again, we keep, our vision has a linear history.
They lost knowledge.
Yeah, our visions have a linear history, but what we're being told already goes against a linear history. It's much more back and forth, back and forth. You know what I mean? And so, every time we're looking at like these, like, we read Diop's books about ancient history and things like that, we gotta imagine that, look, I don't know what it's like with a people that's like man, that is subjugating another people, really through mental games, making them all divided. What reality is that? Do we even know a reality that is not like that? So, anytime we read an ancient history book, think about it, like, the way that they paint the pictures is very incomplete. We don't really know how it was. We just assume that to make something that we could not make today, they had to be living great. Something happened that the civilization fell thousands and thousands of years ago, but ain't nobody touch it. Nobody just touches the Giza pyramid and says, yo, I'm taking this off. You know what I mean? Right? Other stuff after, like the Parthenon and things like that in Rome and in Greece, those things already crumbled. They're not even standing and they're newer.
If Mecca did this.